from the national headquarters of RT America in our nation's capital. Hello again, everybody. I'm Rick Sanchez. So tonight, the President of the United States of America, seemingly against the advice of many of his own advisors, recognized Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights. Now, why is this so important? Well, since 1967, the U.S. had decidedly chosen to not accept the Israeli takeover and annexation of the Golan Heights from Syria. With one tweet like that, Mr. Trump changed a half century of history. There's the tweet where Mr. Trump writes, after 52 years, it is time for the United States to fully recognize Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights. Now, here's what's weird about this story. Nobody even seemed to know this was coming. Nobody seemed to know that the president was actually going to do this, right? Maybe not even his own Secretary of State. And if he did, he certainly didn't tell reporters when they asked him. The one person, though, one person, who do you think did know? Who do you think did know that President Trump was going to do this? Take a guess. You get one guess, and you're probably going to get it right. Israeli Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. He knew. He seemed to send out a coordinated tweet with Trump like within seconds. Like, you send yours, boom, there's mine. Here it is. See it right there at the bottom. Thank you, Mr. Trump. So by all indications, Bibi Netanyahu's influence over the Trump administration appears to be much, much more robust than that of any other Israeli prime minister, maybe ever, right? Why is that? Well, consider this. There's a new book that's receiving incredible worldwide reviews everywhere except, of course, in Israel, where they're calling it all BS. It's called Kushner Inc. Kushner Inc., as in Jared Kushner, and Jared's father. And here's part of the takeaway on this book, right? That Netanyahu is like an uncle to Jared Kushner. Has been since Jared was a little kid. Bibi Netanyahu has been visiting his house and staying with his dad and his family. When Kushner, who is now in charge, by the way, of the Middle East and Israeli policy for the Trump administration, when he was just a little tiny boy, Netanyahu would visit his dad and would actually sleep in young Jared's bed. The book also details how one of the reasons that Rex Tillerson quit the Trump administration, hated working there, was because he was being bigfooted by Jared Kushner. Jared Kushner was taking his job, taking his responsibilities, even taking his office, right? Actually, he says Jared demanded to be in charge of all things Israel. The book's author is a lady named Vicky Ward. Quite interesting. She says that her research has led her to conclude that Bibi Netanyahu is actually the Trump administration's de facto Secretary of State. De facto Secretary of State makes all important decisions related to his own country, Israel, and even beyond Israel. So, wow, does that explain a lot? Is Bibi Netanyahu acting as the U.S. de facto Secretary of State? We've got a special report. Our correspondent Dan Cohen's going to join us, and we're also going to have a guest on who says that may just be the half of it. This is the news with Rick Sanchez, where, as you've come to expect, we do what others don't do. We ask the questions others don't ask. We cover the stories actually many won't cover, and we do believe it's time to do news again. I'm Rick Sanchez. You found us on YouTube, and that's awesome. But you know what? I'm also live every night at 7 and 8 p.m. Eastern on DirecTV and Dish and cable and satellite, the RT app, and Pluto TV. I'll see you there.